Each year, more people are executed in the Lone Star State than any other in the USA. With as many as 70% of Texans avowing support for capital punishment, it's an eye for an eye in the Deep South. This is death row in Livingston. Those imprisoned here wait an average of 10 years before they can appeal their sentence. It costs the taxpayer in the region of $2 million per convict, far more costly than life imprisonment. Hank Skinner is alleged to have killed 3 people. For 19 years, he has lived in isolation in a cell measuring 7 square meters. Many inmates end up committing suicide. Others die while still inside. According to Hank, it's torture in slow motion.
You can hear people crying in the night here. Guys cry here all the time. It's difficult to watch people die over and over and over without having some kind of feeling about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard on you. And then sometimes you get selfish and you think, well, it was better him than me, and then you feel guilty for thinking something like that about somebody that you cared something about.
So why is the death penalty still in use? In the US, a convicted murderer may be imprisoned until their death, without chance of parole.
California is struggling to contain its eye-watering debts, with welfare programs, schools and universities facing billions in cuts. One massive money-saving measure could be the end of the death penalty, which costs taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars a year. RT's Medina Konchnova reports now then on the growing calls to use that money on saving instead of ending lives.
States are looking for all kinds of ways to cut their budgets, and a new study out of California points to a big money pit, the death penalty. According to that study, California pays around $300 million per execution. Attorneys' fees, the appeals process, and housing the inmates are all part of the equation, much more than the cost of life without parole.
The tax dollars add up very quickly in death penalty cases. Typically, state and local governments bear the burden of those costs. The Now KC's Allison Bruner explains that costs in most cases are paid for through tax dollars. Allison?
Chestnut, a local defense lawyer, tells me those costs are significantly higher. To put this into perspective for you, in Kansas, defending a death penalty case costs about 4 times more than defending a case where the death penalty is not considered.